Wherever you are on the African continent, I need to see and hear your voice. I need you to drop your name, your city. Give me your name and your city. Let's get ready for this all-important Africa call. This is a time, this is a moment you don't want to be left behind. This is when the athletes are literally on the starting blocks, all right? We've called the umpire has got the gun in hand, ready to fire, and everybody is aiming for the world record. We are here on the African continent to take our destiny into our own hands, and we've been blessed to be given the vehicle to take us where we have chosen to go. So at the end of the day, are you going to leave that brand new vehicle that has been put at your disposal in the hands of somebody you cannot be sure whether they know the direction or the speed to move? No, you want to be in control. You want to be in charge, and you want to hear from those who have walked the road before you. You want to hear and know from somebody, people who have results to show, people who have results to show. Anybody can talk, but the one worth listening to is the one who has not just walked the journey, but has the results that you are looking for. Today, we have the unique pleasure to hear from literally over 40 years of successful, amazing experience in the energy in this network marketing industry. So welcome to every single body on the call. My name is Kabutey Okansi. I'm coming to you from Accra, Ghana, here in West Africa. It's just past 7 p.m. It's just past 7 p.m. and I know you're excited as well. So good to have you, Carlson. I see Tiffany from the Netherlands. I see Singh from Cape Town. Tiffany. All right, Dr. Boyson is here with me. Kezia in Akosombo. Jemima, Dr. Boyson. All right, I see all of you. Coco, Las Vegas. All right, who was that? Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Elena, I see all of you. Alexandra, I see every one of you from Swaziland, from Sweden. Welcome, my people. Welcome, my friends. Oh my God, Jeremy, I see you all the way from Lumumbashi. Irene, welcome everybody. I'm excited. I'm absolutely excited. You know, the time and the season to wait is gone. The time to take action is here and now. And you and I know these people that we have the honor, the pleasure of hearing from today are people that are, I tell you, I don't know when else we would get them on a call like this, even though I know they're very committed to the global team of Seacret. But this is a rare opportunity that we want to milk every single moment of. So get your pens, get your paper, but most importantly, open your mind, open your heart, get yourself ready to hear real, practical, evidence-based, teachings and examples. So, guys, without stretching this for too long, I want to begin this journey and bring onto the call our amazing leaders all the way from out there in the UK. Let me start off by introducing a gentleman who I believe in the Seacret family is not at all a stranger. We have all at one time or another seen or heard about him, seen or heard his story. Rachel, what's up? I see you all the way from the Netherlands. Good to have you on the call. I'm excited, guys. I'm absolutely excited. Now, listen. These gentlemen have really been building their teams for decades. They've been in this industry. They have seen the highs, the lows. They know what works. They know what does not work. They know where to start from. They know how to build momentum. They know how to show results. And definitely, they have evidence to show that they've been consistent over the years. Between them, I believe they have something like over 40 years of experience in this amazing industry, and we are truly, truly blessed. Guys, let me start off with Shush. Shush has over 19 years experience in network marketing, a top income earner in multiple companies, an international trainer, an international speaker, but a gentleman with a big heart. I have been absolutely attentive to him from far away, but right here and now, we have literally him and his partner at our doorstep. And so, my senior brother, our crown royals in the house, Shush Arya, this is the African family and beyond. Welcoming you to our All Agents call today. What's up, man? Good to have you on the call.
Hey, Kabutey, hey, how are you, brother?
Oh man, I'm on top of the world. I'm amazing. Thank you so much. It's
I,
great to
I
see you.
I love your energy. It's just it's fire, man, fire.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me be honest with you. One of the things that makes you stand out uniquely, just even as an individual, is your very unique mustache or goatee,
Yeah. Trademark, trademark.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. The leadership of the African continent, all our teams are here, and we're excited to have you and your partner on the call. And I know this is probably the first official time you are engaging with us exclusively for the African team. And I just want you to just, a few opening remarks, anything you want to say to just get our people attentive on this call.
Yeah, listen, guys. Well, first of all, I mean, I want to thank you for having us. I know Peter's on the call as well. So actually, our combined years in the industry is actually over 60 years. So Peter is actually 42 years, and myself, this is my 19th year in the industry. And yeah, it's just it's an incredible industry if you stick at it and you work at it. I mean, the freedom that it can give you is just, I mean, it's mind-blowing actually. We're going to be sharing some information on like how you can succeed within the industry. I want to say obviously, hey, we went through transitions, there's been some challenges, but the thing is, I want to commend you guys as leaders. I see a lot of familiar faces. Congratulations to the leaders that stepped up and took the baton as such, because myself and Peter, we're about building the business in the right way. We're not we're not about hype and BS. We will just tell you as it is. And we actually just passed 2 days ago $1 million in income actually with Seacret. So that's actually in 15 months we hit the $1 million. So we are $1 million a year earners. Okay, sorry, $1 million earners, right? Lifetime, yeah. And what that means, and I don't say that to brag or boast and say that we are wonderful. What that means is that it proves that this works, first of all. And secondly, in the process of that happening, my God, we broke so many ranks in the business. I mean, like we have another crown agent in our team. We have 4 red diamonds in our team. We have like more than 20. We have 4 blue diamonds. We have like 4 red diamonds, 7 blue diamonds, and more than 20 diamonds, right? Okay. So the bottom line is this works. And I mean, like these guys are making like full-time incomes. We have something in a region of last count 100K earners in our team. Some of them did it like in 6 weeks, right? Okay. So what we're doing here absolutely works. And the thing is, what I will say that is that you got to give this business time. Now, obviously, we have a lot of experience we bring to the table. So obviously, we knew what to do when we started in Seacret, myself and Peter. And obviously we had a lot of leaders that followed us. I mean, people don't just follow you. You still have to work. I mean, for probably about 5 months, before we launched last January, like December, January last year, I can tell you that, like, man, I mean, like I was doing 18-hour days, right? Even after all these years of experience doing 18-hour days, because obviously we're working with teams all around the world, all different time zones. And the thing is, you got to do what it takes. I mean, like, if you want to make it work, you got to do what it takes. But the second thing is that you got to give it time as well, right? When I think of when I started in this industry, I can tell you, like, I was like 19 years ago, actually, it was September 2003, when I came into this industry, this amazing industry of network marketing as a total newbie, okay, who had no idea what he was doing, okay, quite frankly. And but the thing is, I was at a place in my life where I needed to change. I needed to make a change in my life. You know, I mean, like, my God, when I think of like the contrast of how my life was then to like the freedoms I have today because of this industry. I mean, back then I was working 90 hours a week. I was like $500,000 in debt. I was like working 7 days, you know, leaving the house 7 o'clock in the morning, coming home at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And that was like, you know, all week that was the same. And then I was also working the weekends, not as long hours, but and I still couldn't pay the bills. So I mean, I was like desperate, and you know, I had a young family. My kids then like were 3. You know, my son Jay was 3. You know, my stepson Ace was 11, and I never saw them. Right? Okay, because they like they were asleep when I left. They were asleep. You know, when I got back. I mean, that's how it was. And I was exhausted. I was tired. I was like depressed. I was like, you know, just thinking, my God, you know, is this what life is all about? And I knew I had to do something different. And when I actually went out researching ways to make money on the internet, and I found network marketing again, because you see, what happened is 10 years previous is I saw network marketing. Someone actually invited me to a presentation. Okay, I went to the presentation. I love the idea of residual income and making, you know, money like by leveraging the power of the team. But the bottom line is that I couldn't get excited about the products that I saw, which was like washing up powder, right? Okay, so I didn't do it because at that time I was very young. I was like, you know, like in my early 20s. And then, you know, I joined this company like from finding an opportunity on the internet, from doing a Google search, and I found a company actually which was doing, the product was actually high-speed internet. It was broadband. Which does anybody not use broadband? Okay, I think everybody uses broadband, right? Okay,
That's right.
so the thing is, that company actually, Peter Powderham, who's now my business partner, who is on this call, you're going to hear from in a second. He was actually the lead distributor, the master distributor of that company. So like back then, you know, we only had dial-up internet. So the thing is, there wasn't even any videos or anything. There was just like a biography with a photo of Peter on the site. That's all I knew of Peter, and like his, you know, read his biography, which was incredible. And I'll when I introduce Peter in a minute, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And man, I had no idea what I was doing, and I got involved. I signed up like online. I never spoke to my sponsor. I never, you know, like before I started that business, you know, I never spoke to him. I didn't really know him. He, you know, just found a site on the internet. But I just knew one thing. I knew I wanted to change my life. I was desperate to change my life and do something different. And this was the only business I could start at such a low cost. You know, like the last bit of credit on my credit card. And you know, the thing is, I was hungry to make a change, right? And so I just said, you know, I was thinking that, you know, the worst case scenario is I'm going to lose like $200 or $300. Best case scenario is going to change my life. And then what happened is I got started and I actually blew it. I mean, like absolutely blew it. You know, made all the mistakes, had no idea what I was doing. I was like desperate to make it work, but the thing is, it wasn't working. And then what happened is, in April 2004, I went to a event. Okay, it was in Heathrow, in near London, and Peter Powderham was speaking. That was actually the first time I ever met Peter and saw Peter speak, and that was the day I can say categorically that changed my life, because I met a guy who was at that time, he was making something like, I would say in today's money, probably $70,000-$70,000 per month in pure residual income, right? I.e., while you sleep income, right? And we're talking, this was like 18 years ago, right? Okay, right? And I just thought, oh my God, this is unbelievable. But the thing is, the reason why the light turned on for me was because Peter is a guy that I totally related to, right? Okay, he was a normal guy. When he joined network marketing, when he started in network marketing, Peter was a policeman. He was a metropolitan policeman, bike cop in London, right? He had no formal education. He joined the police instead of going to university. He had a place at university, and he decided to join the police instead, which didn't go down too well with his mother. But there we go. And he grew up on a council estate, which is like social housing, right? I lived in a council place, you know, with my partner, like at that time actually, and you know, he had done jobs like emptying car park meters, milkman, furniture salesman, like just, you know, normal everyday things, right? So he was just a normal everyday guy. But the thing is, through network marketing, he had created this incredible life and lifestyle. And I mean, you know, if you go to Peter's house today, Peter lives about 1 hour from me, which is again a blessing that I can actually occasionally go down and see him, and I love to spend time with him. And like, you know, he has a 1.8 million pound house. He has 3 Aston Martins in his drive, as well as many other cars. And we're talking like new Aston Martins, right? So we're talking a couple £100,000 each. And all of this is paid for by network marketing money, right? And, you know, it's just incredible the lifestyle you can create with this industry. And, you know, for me, you know, I haven't had to go out and do a job since 2008. Okay. I've only done network marketing, and obviously in time, you know, obviously invested my money as well. So the thing is, I don't have to do a job anymore. And that's what freedom is. So it's actually, freedom to me is the ability every day to choose what you do, and you don't have to think about money. Okay. You don't have to be told what to do by a boss. You can just do anything. Okay. Today, you know what I did today? You know, I took my dad to the hospital, right, for a surgery. So, you know, I drove him to hospital. You know, he had to have some surgery. And the thing is, you know, this was the 4th time actually. And my dad said to me, you know what, it's a real blessing that, you know, you can take me to the hospital, because, you know, obviously I would be stuck. And I said, Dad, you know what, it's nothing, you know, but, you know, that's what freedom allows you to do. If I had a job that I had to be at, then I couldn't do that necessarily, right? So, you know, the thing is, it's not always about money, okay? It's about, you know, that time and the freedom that you have, that you can actually do this kind of thing. That's actually, you know, super important. Money is awesome, man. I mean, like, you know, like Peter taught me many years ago, money is like oxygen. You know, you just got to like get it out of the way, that you never have to worry about it, right? So, you know, that's what I'll do as an introduction. Actually, let me bring Peter on. Peter, are you there? Here he is.
I certainly am, Shush. How are you, mate?
Hello, Peter. How are you? So, so this is the, you know, literally, I mean, like, he's a legend in our industry. He is, you know, my dear friend. He is, you know, my mentor. And obviously, my dream came true when, like, you know, he invited me to, you know, partner with him in Seacret as his business partner. I mean, it is literally me living the book, Think and Grow Rich, in fact. So, so if you have never read that book, definitely read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, when you look at the Peter's career, okay, within the industry, he has actually been in the industry 42 years, as I said, but not just in the field. I mean, he's been master distributor of 3 companies. He's been with 2 brand name companies. He's been the CEO. So he's actually like been corporate for many countries, run like some of the biggest companies in the world. So like he was general manager Newski in Europe. He actually had his own network marketing company as well, which was going to be listed on the stock exchange. And, you know, that's another story. And, you know, he has been with 5 different companies that have gone through $1 billion in sales. So the thing is, he's consulted for companies. He sat on the World Federation, DSA, Direct Selling Association, UK Legal Task Force, the UK DSA. I mean, man, I mean, like, Peter is the go-to man in the industry. And obviously we were really super blessed in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago, because, you know, we actually heard Peter speak. That was the first time, like I think it was like almost 3 years, right, Peter? And, you know, people just absolutely blown away, right? So, Peter, do you want to say a few words before we get into the questions?
Yeah, Shush. Well, I sound like the most amazing person that you could ever possibly want to meet. So I mean, it's probably
Well, you are, mate.
not a lot of point in saying much else. Really, I might as well just go and make a cup of tea now. Yeah, I want to thank Kabutey and for the. I mean, listen, mate. If you're not going to get excited, then we're going to find someone that is. All right, because you know. Yeah, it's an honour to be on the call. I take nothing for granted. I am not that person who is some kind of celebrity who, oh my goodness, this person is so wonderful. I am no different to everybody else on this call. I've just been doing it longer, more consistently, more persistently, and just keep hammering and hammering and hammering. And it takes a while in anything in life to break it open. And once it breaks open, the floodgates open, then the flood comes, and the flood is in the form of your bank balance. But that just takes a while. It takes a lot of effort. Those things don't come easily. Shush was obviously, I mean, with his introduction, I've got a lot of experience. I better explain the my network marketing company we took public, because I did, but I took it public. I was in California, and I had my own network marketing business. And I took it public on a stock exchange in May of 2001. You may remember in September 2001, somebody put 2 aeroplanes into 2 buildings in New York. They shut down the stock exchange, and our company went bust. We literally fell over because they shut the stock exchange for 2 weeks. We went in before 9/11. We were trading at $7.95 on the stock exchange. We came out at 3 cents. We literally crashed. Our stock was all sold off because of 9/11. And that business that I built. So you talk about challenges. People go, "Oh, I've had challenges." Yeah, I had a $24 million business, my ownership of it in California in 2001, which the 9/11 incident destroyed. So, we can all talk about how tough we've had it. I can tell you other stories as well. That's not what we're here for. Here's the point. I do these calls for one reason only, and then I'll leave it open. I think, Shush, you've got some questions that people have asked. Are you going to ask the question, Shush?
I think Kabutey will ask the questions, and then we can basically tag team.
Okay. Well, Shush and I will work between us, okay, on which questions we answer. But look, my thing here is legacy. Why would I still come on a call? And it's wonderful to see so many people on the call here tonight. I thank you for your time. Why would I still come on a call when I literally have reached a point in my life when money is irrelevant? What I mean by that is, I don't think about money anymore, because I haven't done for years, because it doesn't feature in my life. In other words, if I see a £250,000 Aston Martin I want to buy, I go and buy it. I don't think, can I afford it? I've just bought a 1.3 million euro villa in Portugal, which we get next month, and it's cash. So I'm not sitting here to brag. What I'm saying here is I'm doing this because I believe so vehemently in this industry. I believe so much that this industry can give you what I've got, that if anybody wants to do the work, put in the passion and the time and the energy, that you can have anything that you can desire from your life in this industry. Now, it may be that you don't want what cars like me and homes, but you may want to be giving your money away to charity. You may want to go and work in a country. You may want to just be that person who, you can't be benevolent. You can't give anything away that you haven't already got. In other words, you can't give time to other people if you need to use that time to make money. You understand what I'm saying? Where Shush went to the hospital with his father today, he didn't even consider the fact that he wouldn't be able to do that. His dad needed to go to hospital. I'll take your dad. My children would go to school when they were tiny. I've got a 35-year-old son and a 32-year-old daughter. I'm also a granddad. I would take them to school and pick them up. And I'd turn up outside the school. It was hilarious, actually. I was the only father, I think. I'd pull up in a brand new Jaguar, because I've had loads of Jags. I'd pull up in a brand new Jag. I'd get out the car, take the kids to school. And all the mums were there. I think I was only dad. All the mums were there at this little infant school. And they also look at me, and I think they thought, oh, poor guy, hasn't got a job. How does he afford a new car? I always wondered what they must have thought of this guy pulling up every day in his brand new Jaguar to drop his kids off at school. Or maybe he, I don't know, maybe he got given. The point I'm making is I didn't have to think about time. And this is to me, the biggest freedom we can get from this industry is time. we get our lives back. So that the reason I do this is because I want you to have that as well. That's the reason I would always fight for this. So anyway, Kabutey, I don't want to take up any more of that time with my rambling on. Okay, yeah, I know you might have some questions, so you know, whatever you want to fire away, we might know some answers. Okay.
So I'm gonna share one small story.
Sure.
So Peter, you know, like when I first met Peter, so like before the Astons, Peter was a Jaguar man. I mean, he still is a Jaguar man, but he had like some really nice Jaguars, right? Still got them. Because actually some of the originals, right?
Yeah.
And so he inspired me to get a Jaguar. And my dream car actually was a S-Type at that time, an S-Type Sport Jaguar, black, midnight black, champagne interior, right? And I had a picture on the wall, and I got it in 2007. I beat my target to get in it. And the funny thing is a similar story. I used to, drop my son off and pick him up in the Jag, and they actually thought I was a drug dealer.
That's because the car was black.
yeah, true story. Anyway, over to you.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, guys. Listen, guys, we're 120 on the call. It's exciting to be here. And listen, this is a funny question, but let me start from there. I mean, Peter, obviously you are, generations ahead of us in age. How does it feel, a man of your age at this time, to still cruise around in brand new Aston Martins?
How does it feel? I kind of got used to it. I tell you the simplest way to explain it is I've had 16 Aston Martins.
16?
16, yeah. I'm on my 16th now. I've got 3 now, but
I think I must have sat in pretty much.
I think Shush has sat in all of them. Yeah. My wife doesn't understand it because she can't. Every single one I buy, I tell her they're an investment. She said, well, it would be if you bloody well kept them. But anyway, I get all excited and I go and change it for another one or whatever. And I think, well, to answer your question, what happens to you in life, and I think in this amazing industry, you get used to quality, you get used to living well, you get used to going on an aeroplane and turning left, not turning right, You get used to going into a hotel and saying, well, have you got a suite? Have you got something with a view? Because actually the price doesn't really matter. You get used to reading menus from left to right and not from right to left. You know what I mean by that? So that you order what you want, not what you can afford. And you get used to looking after other people now and again by saying, I'll give you a simple story. My sister hadn't been on holiday I've got 3 sisters. My sister hadn't been on holiday with her children for a while. She wanted to go to Disney in Florida. I had a place out there. I've had 5 places out there. And I just wrote a check out, gave it to her, said, right, get the kids on a plane, get yourself to Florida. She said, you can't do that. I said, do what I damn well like, it's my money. And I just gave her the money and off she went. And when she got back, her husband, cheeky so-and-so, he emailed me and said, Peter, I hope you have another good business year. That was a great holiday. thinking I'd do it every year, which I didn't. But anyway, so Kabutey, the answer is it's peace of mind. In other words, cruising around in something that you own. Loads of people have got fancy cars, but they're on finance. Cruising around is something you own. Lots of people have got fancy houses and they're on finance as well. Most people live their lives on what they can afford in payments every month for what they think they own. They don't own them. So it's that peace of mind of knowing that you are financially free from whatever. Like they put the interest rates up in England today, I could care less. Okay, it's no difference to me. And this is I'm sorry to say this, but energy costs have gone up in England. Doesn't matter to me. If I'm cold, I put the heating up. Because I don't even know what the bill is. I just pay it. So that freedom, that mind freedom, when you've got that, you can then do other things. You can be very productive as a human being if you've got money out of the way. Once you get money out of the way, you can self-actualize. You can help other people. You can do things that have nothing to do with money. You can spend your time helping others or doing whatever you enjoy, because you're not looking at the clock or thinking, oh, I've got to be at work tomorrow, or I can't get a day off. That's the feeling. It's the feeling of freedom, peace of mind, Kabutey, really, peace of mind. Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in here as well, because there's a curse in our industry, right? So this is what happens, and it's related to something what Peter just said about people buying things on credit, you know, and racking up debt. And often they do that because they're trying to impress people, right? Okay, they're trying to show like success, but actually it's not real success. You know, it's fake success, right? So this is so important that actually, you know what, it's not about the fancy, like, see, having a fancy car, if you buy it outright, and obviously when Peter buys an Aston, it's like a small percentage of his wealth, right? Okay. Whereas what people do is they get a bit of success, and then what they'll do is they'll spend all their money on a deposit, and then like borrow all this crazy amount of money to get it, just because they're trying to impress people. And then when there's a downturn or something happens, like maybe your company goes out of business, or there's a pandemic, or, you know, whatever, a recession, then that's it. I mean, like, you know, you're going to lose everything, right? So it's so important that actually, so there's a couple of things here. Number one is that you have to make sure you sustain yourself. So some people, they say, oh, I'm going to quit my job to go full-time in network marketing, when they don't have any backup income. If you haven't got 12 months in the bank to sustain, right, then don't do that, right? Okay, because you will put yourself under immense pressure. I've just seen it so many times over the years.
Yeah, Shush, can I come in on that? There's a formula for this, guys. It's a formula that I learned when I was in Amway. I was in Amway for 10 years. Did very well in Amway, actually. And the formula is that if you think you're doing well, what I'd like you to do is to put your salary away for 12 months. Don't use it. In other words, say you're earning a couple of £3,000 a month. Make a decision on a certain date. You're going to say, right, that money, I don't touch it. I live off of my networking money. If you can go for 12 months, minimum 12 months, without touching your salary, and you put it into savings, put it away, then you may have reached the point where you don't need your job, right? You may have. I also then say, but if you actually, unless you detest your job or it's really upsetting you, then maybe you want to carry on with it anyway, because why wouldn't you have the extra £3 a month? You don't have to be full-time to do this. Most people aren't. A lot of people earn $500 a month, and that helps them with everything, and they don't need to make any more. And in fact, they won't make any more because they won't do the work. But some of us want to make 5,000 a day, and that is when you want to get wealthy. So my thing here is just be very, very careful. There's a whole litany. There's a mountain. I know a mountain of networkers who have gone broke, bankrupt, ended up in serious trouble because they spent money they did not have. And then when the money slows down, because this is a business, so you know, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up and comes down. I mean, you can end up with some real boom few months, and then we have a slowdown, or the government does something, or they change the law, or a country changes its rules, or the tax rate changes or something, and you see your business shrink a bit. So like, as if you ran a shop, you can't just spend every penny that comes in the door. You can't. You've got to keep money to one side. You've also got to pay tax. I've seen plenty of networkers. I saw a networker friend of mine go to prison because he didn't pay his tax. Okay. And he's actually quite well known in the industry. I won't give you his name, obviously, but somebody I've known for many, many years didn't pay his tax because he thought, oh, well, you know, and he got caught and he went to prison. So, you know, you've got to do things properly. You've got to manage and budget. It's a business. It's not a game. It's a business. All right, Shush.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Already dropping a lot of nuggets. So let me ask this question, you know, decide between the two of you. I'll put a few things together. Number one is, I mean, right now, the team in Africa, I believe we are at a pivot point, okay? Within the last month or so, we've had some, let me call them disruptions, okay? Many of our significant leaders have moved on to, you know, other things, and people kind of feel orphaned, people kind of feel unsure, uncertain. At the same time as we have that group of people, we also have a group of people who have just come into our company and into network marketing for the very first time in their lives. And they have come into it at a time when there's so much distraction of so many different so-called opportunities, you know, especially across here in Africa. So the question I want to ask both of you, with your combined over 60 years in this industry, what is it that makes you so confident about Seacret as a viable opportunity in this network marketing business, especially now with all the new developments that have come up?
You want me to do that one, Shush?
Yeah, you go first. I can add a little bit afterwards.
Okay, right. I am, because of my background, I was World Federation DSA, Direct Selling Association. I was UK Legal Task Force Direct Selling Association and Direct Selling Association Council for the UK. I was part of the trading schemes regulations that were written between 1994 and 1997, the Parliamentary Act of Parliament in England, the 1997 trading schemes regulations, which I helped to write as a corporate officer when I was with Newskin. It was like watching paint dry. It was terribly tedious, very hard work. I was party to that for the simple reason that in 1993-4, Herbalife got into a serious, there's a purpose of this story, by the way, got into a serious dispute with the pharmaceutical industry in Germany. They were making all kinds of claims, and the German pharmaceutical industry, which had a lot more money than them, decided to take them on in the courts. The Dutch got involved as well. Brussels got involved. The European Union got involved, and they took Herbalife to court. And they said, you can't keep saying these things. And network marketing, quite frankly, is probably illegal. We need to stop it. They made a move in the EU to outlaw network marketing forever. And that nobody could be in multi-level ever again. The same as they tried to do in 1971 with franchising. They tried to do it with franchising in 71, by the way. We stepped in as corporate officers of the. I was running one of the 5 biggest network marketing companies in the world, Newskin. We stepped in and said, whoa, hold on a minute. You do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just because you've got dirty people and you've got scoundrels doesn't mean the rest of us are bad. What you haven't got, which is your fault, is regulation. You haven't got rules. You're letting us, or not us, but you're letting our people in our industry say what they want, do what they want. You're not controlling it. You need regulation because there's always bad people in anything. So there are people who will exploit. And in order to stop them exploiting, we need law. So we spent 3 years writing the laws. Now, the European Union, the English law in the House of Commons was then adopted in 97, Trading Schemes Regulations. It's an act of parliament. It's criminal law. Then was transferred to the EU, adopted by the rest of the EU, and actually mirrored a lot of it by the United States and Asia. The reason was it was the first step towards regulation for networking, and it's still in existence today. The reason I tell you all this is because I know more about the law and the background to networking than most people. I won't say than anybody, but most people. I've worked with most of the law firms in Europe on multi-level. I know the people that head up most companies. I was at a meeting today talking to a very high-level consultant, Shush knows him, who we talked about 5 companies in the industry, 5 other companies, all of which I knew the people that own it, the people that run it, the top reps in those companies. I know them all. I get pitched for everything. 6 weeks ago, I got offered a job in California to run a network marketing company in California. I don't want a job in California, but they offered me a job. I'm sure it was very well paid and blah, 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 but I'm not going to be living in California. So I was, okay, that's very nice. It's good for your ego to be asked to do that sort of thing. So I'm so connected within the industry that when Seacret came to fruition, end of 2020, end of 2020, I investigated it because Shush and I were very concerned about what happened with the previous company, and we knew that horse was no longer going to run. So we needed to find a home for people or not. I said to Shush, if we can't find a decent place, I'm done. I'm done. I don't need to chase income. I'm incredibly well protected. I've got more money than I need. I will just leave it alone. I won't do a company just for the sake of doing it. Seacret turned up and I made the phone calls and started to investigate them. I looked around at the various, I spoke to lawyers, I spoke to DSA, I spoke to people that I know, consultants in the industry. What do you know about Seacret? And what I got was this. Nice company, small company, did very well up to 2008 with shops. 2008 financial crash, they went down. A lot of shops closed, as did a lot of businesses. Then they got into network marketing. They did quite well with it. Not quite sure they know how network marketing works though. They're doing okay, but they could be big. They could be bigger. Any problems? No. Any issues with the products? No. Any lawsuits flying around? Oh, there's always lawsuits. There's always a couple of 3 of those. Every company's got those. Nothing major though. Nothing nasty. And of course, my thing was, okay, let's have a look at the products. Now, I ran New Skin. I've also ran Nutrimetics. I also worked with Synergy, Nature Sunshine Products. And I also, in my company in the United States that I took public, was a nutritional manufacturing company, nutritional supplements manufacturing. I know this stuff. I used to make it, okay? I used to warehouse it. I used to finance it. So I looked at their products and I thought, they're cool. Skincare was actually unique because it's coming from, obviously, the minerals, Dead Sea minerals, and they own and control the patents. That's clever. In fact, L'Oreal tried to buy those patents off of them and they wouldn't sell them. L'Oreal tried to control the company and the family said, no, this is ours. We're not giving it to you. But L'Oreal, as you may well know, do a lot of manufacturing for Seacret. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a $24 billion company behind manufacturing. There is a unique product nobody else can copy. And on top of that, they've got some nutritional supplements that look rather sexy. I do know a bit about nutrition, but they're not going bonkers with nutritional supplements. They've got some very clever ones, particularly recovery, which is very, very out there, very, very new. Okay, this could be a winner. Then I looked at the compensation plan, binary. Compensation plan needed a shake up, which we've done in the last 12 months. And then I looked at the management team and I thought, okay, let's have a look. There's three legs to every network marketing company, three. It's like a three-legged stool. One is management, two is compensation, and three is product. If any one of those three fails, the stool will fall over, right? So I'm looking at this and saying, right, okay, where are we? I came to the conclusion, I said to Shush, solid, I think it's solid, mate. I think we stand a very good chance. So we went to Seacret, and obviously Shush and I went crown in the first week. Actually, we did it in the first month, but we did it in the first week, actually. And in the end, we had those results and obviously got recognised as the first and only crowns of have come out of the old company. But just to give you the reason, all of that is me doing my analysis and looking then at what has happened lately, Kabutey, with certain leaders that have left and what they've done. Good luck to them. I could care less. I've lost more leaders than, I mean, I can't even count a number of people that have left my organisation over the years. It's really irrelevant. There are only 7 billion people on the planet. We don't need that many to be successful. We certainly don't need 7 billion. And quite frankly, what's happened now is we've boiled down to some of the really good stuff. We've got some fantastic people now. We've got some real strength coming through. And I have to say, if there was another deal out there that was better than this, I would be telling you about it, right? Because I get approached for the lot, and every single one of those leaders that leaves wants me in their business. And I go, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes, okay? Because I'm already involved in a company that can be anything we want it to be. Why would you want to start again with something that actually damages your reputation? Because and a lot of them are groupies as well, Kabutey. They've been in 5 or 6 deals in the last few years. I mean, some of them they'll be in whatever they're in now, and then in 6 months' time, they'll be in something else. And a lot of networkers, in my experience, can only do it once. They can only do it once. They do have success in one company. They can never do it again. There are a few of us that can do it again and again and again. That's because we know how to do it. And personally, that doesn't make me, that special. It just means that I kind of know the good from the bad. And I'm not saying any other companies are bad. What I'm saying is Seacret's pretty damn solid, mate. It's really got the deal. It's still got a lot of work to do. I was on the call with Eddie Head just before I came on with you, discussing a new employee they're going to bring in Europe, person that worked for me 30 years ago. Shush, you know that is. And Eddie absolutely pulled my arm off. He said, would she be interested? I said, yes, she would. And she's thrilled. So we're beginning to, I've got the contacts that we can get the people we need. So we're in good shape. We're in bloody wonderful shape, quite frankly. If we weren't, I wouldn't be on this call. I wouldn't dare come on this call and try and tell anybody they should be doing this. That would be wrong. You put me in Google, put my name in Google, you'll get thousands of hits. You won't get one negative, not one. And I didn't put anything in Google to stop that happening. And I don't know where most of the stuff on Google came from. But nobody on there will tell them that Pete Powderham lied to them or screwed them or had them over or misled them. Generally speaking, people, Shush knows this. I do this because I want my mate Shush to be a millionaire. I want Kabutey to be a millionaire. We've never really met yet, Kabutey, but with that energy, mate, that's worth a fortune. Okay. Anyway, I've said enough. Shush, you want to add?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you take all that, and Peter's absolutely banged on, and you add the getaway, right? Which what we just launched. I'm telling you, in my 19 years in this industry, I never see anything like this, right? Let me tell you guys, my son, who is in Mexico at the moment, right? He's a Club Secret member. He's just booked a getaway in at the El Cid, one of the hotels there, right? So he what he did is we wanted to go a little bit sooner, so he could have done a no cost trip included for 5 nights in April, but he wanted to go this month and he wanted to go for 7 nights. He paid $421 for 7 nights. So the price of the trip was actually $2,600, right? And he paid $421 for 7 nights, all inclusive, right? I mean, man, that's powerful, right? And obviously on the 12th of April, we've got the cruise platform launching for us as well. I'm telling you guys, this is a game changer, right? Okay, absolute game changer. So yeah, I mean, we are definitely in the right place for sure. Okay.
I tell you what, on the getaway, Shush, I told one of my very, very good friends in the industry I've known for 35 years about the getaways, and they said, "No, you must have that wrong." And I said, no. I said, "That's what we're doing." He said, "No, nobody does that." I said, "Well, we're doing it," and he said, "Are you sure? You know, are you drinking? Are you on something, Peter?" I said, "No, I'm telling you." Okay. He said to me, "Have you been smoking something?" I said, "No, I'm telling you, this is what we're doing." He said, "My God," he said, "you're going to clean up." That's what he said to me. "You're going to clean up." I said, "Yeah, I know, mate. Watch."
Yeah. Wow, guys. So let me speak for that person who just came into Seacret at this time in this season with all this, getaways, with all these amazing updates, with, a better compensation plan than we had a year ago, with our products, with everything together. Now, for that person, what are the building blocks to be able to build that consistent, growing business, growing team that they can then look to, a sustainable future with in Seacret?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll jump in here and just say this, that like, first of all, obviously, with whatever your leaders are telling you, right? Okay, in terms of the daily operation and like how to do the business, if that's working for you, don't change it. Just follow your leader's system. Okay, what I would just say is do not. See, like me and Pete come from the old school curiosity approach to dealing with people. Yeah, I mean, we don't personally sponsor people today. I mean, like if anyone said to me we want to do something, we'd pass them on to our leaders. But if I was doing it today, I would do what I've always done, which is use a curiosity approach. Some people will just lead with the, "Oh my God, do you want to get a cruise included, like blah blah blah," and like totally blow the movie, right? Okay, it's like you giving the trailer away, right? It's like the spoiler. What you want to do is you want to like just say, "Look, I've got something that I need to show you that, my God, it's going to blow you away, and I'm telling you, like it's like an offer that you can't refuse." Right? I just need like 30 minutes of your time, or 1 hour of your time, like if you're going to meet them or whatever. If you're going to use a push play, however long the push plays, I've got just 20 minutes of your time to have a look at something, and it's gonna blow your socks off, right? And then you show them a presentation, and then obviously you're going to emphasize at the end. So do you see that? You can literally get a trip included, right? So you use the trip included as the close. So you can't use free, by the way, right? I'm sure you already know this. For legal reasons, you can't use free, okay? But a trip included, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, like, how are you going to say no to that, right? I think it's like Jesse said that in Barcelona, this is not like, this is like an IQ test, right? Yeah, it's an IQ question. I mean, you must be totally mad to refuse it, but there we go. I mean, obviously there are stupid people in the world, but okay.
Wow, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So anybody who just joined the team within the last 1 month or less, here are your building blocks. Build from curiosity and use that as your anchor point to be able to gravitate this above. Now, again, I know earlier Peter mentioned that, listen, people have left at different points in time and it really makes no difference. But the truth of the matter is, for some people, they really do feel kind of left alone. Mm-hmm. They do feel like the people they've been leaning on all this while are no longer there. And they kind of, can't seem to find where exactly to find the momentum, to find the energy one more time. So drilling a bit more deep into that and speaking to that person who still believes Seacret is their home, but who finds themselves in this uncomfortable place, especially mentally. If you could speak to them for us, yes.
Kabutey, let me do that one. Right, look, and I'm going to add more to what Shush said in this. We're a team, right? This is a support system. Barcelona was a great event. I mean, it was like a launch event for me. It was just wonderful. We had 4 days of energy and growing energy, and we came out of there, and now we're seeing the results because Shush and I have seen our sales go up every week. The team is always remember this, the team is bigger than the individual. Now, one of the rules of networking is never put anybody on a pedestal. Now, when I came on this call, I said I'm not that important, and I'm not, right? Because if I'm not around, if I decide to completely not do networking again, but live off the income, that's nothing to do with anybody else. That's my personal choice, me and my family. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. It doesn't mean I don't care. It just means I made a choice to leave, which is the right you have if you are independently working your business. But look, the team is bigger than the individual. When you put someone on a pedestal and you make them that important, when they let you down or they do something stupid or they say something from the stage and then you find out it's not true, you feel deflated. You feel as if you feel angry and you feel as if you've been hurt. Look, it's a bit like a child and parent relationship. Like there's this person who you trusted and they've let you down. Well, listen, guess what? They've got parents because in our system, there isn't generations where you get like great grandparents are not around anymore because they died. There are grandparents, great grandparents, and great grandparents in the line of sponsorship. Here's how it works. When I joined Amway, I was 23 years old. And my sponsor, Danny, bless him, he's actually passed away now, nice guy, became jealous of me because I was doing quite well in Amway and he was being left behind. And he got quite angry with me and he wasn't a sponsor in the terms of supporting me. He became upset with my success. He was envious. So he let me down. His sponsor was far too detailed and far too stuck in the rules and regulations and too excited about products and not excited about building a business. He was more excited. So he didn't let me down. He just wasn't much use. I kept going up line. I'm not going to go through them all until I found a man and a woman, but mostly Peter. He was not a Peter. A couple called Peter and Vera, beautiful people who were where I wanted to be, 19 years older than me, and I could relate to. I didn't sponsor Shush into networking. Now he's my business partner, but back in the day, he was in my business. I sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody who sponsored Shush.
They all quit, by the way.
They all quit.
Between us, right? All quit.
Yeah, they all quit. Yeah. But Shush, either I found Shush or Shush found me. I think Shush found me because the day that he spoke to me, I was really tired and I wasn't really interested in him. I'd been training all day and he came up to me and said, how do I do what you do and be where you are? I said, if I told you, you wouldn't do it. I said, I was really not very friendly with him, to be honest with you. I was kind of had a long day training. And I was a little bit not rude to him. I thought, oh God, yeah, what you're gonna set the world alight, mate? Yeah, you probably can't find the matches because most people can't. Okay, so he was going to set the world alight, and I thought, yeah, I've heard that before. You can become cynical. That's a bit of a challenge. You know, you become cynical in anything in life, but you can certainly become cynical in this. My point is this: you're not on your own. Not in a million years. I mean, this call is to support you, and the leaders that are, for a start, whatever leaders have left. Shush and I make more money than any of them, probably all added together. So if you want to know how to make money, you talk to us, right? So that's kind of irrelevant. Oh, my so-and-so leader, and I know who you're talking about, and I know some of the rubbish they came out with about how much they were earning, which was absolute BS because they're all in our group. So I know that you are supported. The events, you know, Montenegro and convention, Elevate, those things are there for you. These calls are here for you. If you can't get what you need from the person that introduced you, you must not be afraid to go past them. You must not be afraid to find someone who can help you. Because here's how leadership works in our industry. We only grow when we drill down and find, okay, the leaders. It's like looking for gold or looking for oil. You have to drill. Look, oil generally doesn't lay around on the surface, does it? Gold and diamonds don't lay around on the surface. They do occasionally, but very rarely. Somebody's picked them up by the time you get there. Normally, you've got to dig and you've got to work hard to find the precious stuff. So you're going to have to drill down in your business. You might sponsor someone, you sponsor someone else, and this might be family members. But down there on level 6 is the next leader. That's who you work with. And that person, if that's you, if we're talking about you being as if you've been left behind, you need to look up and go, right, who can I work with? Who is where I want to be? Now, I can't, you might look at me and go, I want to be like Peter Powderham. I don't know why anybody would want to be like me, but there you go. So you might want to be like me. And then if you did, I haven't got the time to work with everybody, and that's not what I do anymore. But you will find somebody, and it may not even be in your team. Because bear in mind, you can help others in other groups. You don't have to, when we do training, when Shush and I do training, we don't ask the room, are you all in our team? Because otherwise we're not talking to you. That's utter nonsense, right? I will help anybody in Seacret. It's my duty to do that because my responsibility is for the company to be successful, and a rising tide lifts all ships. If we all do well, okay, if everybody does well, we are then a combined success, not one individual. I'm going off at tangents all the place here, but it disturbs me when people are worried about they've lost somebody who they thought cared about them. That's life, guys. You're going to have to get over it. Wherever they've gone, and if they're hassling you to join them, yeah, fine. I mean, they're going to do that because they're desperate to get you involved. They can't find new people. They want you. We can find new people. Half the people on this call, I guarantee, don't even know what we're talking about with the last company and what happened before. It's totally irrelevant. It's history. Yesterday is gone. Today is precious. Tomorrow is a promise, right? So you are living in the moment, and the moment is now. And as they say, do it now. Don't think about it. In other words, what your responsibility as a leader is to be strong, grow up, look up, and at the end of the day, find somebody to work with, and you will find someone. Shush, do you agree?
100%. I mean, you know, there's a young lady on this call called Rochelle. Rochelle, are you there?
Yes.
Rochelle Durgan. Show yourself. Put your video on. Are you there?
She's got a video on. I'm looking at her.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, cool. So, you know, Rochelle is one of those people that actually we had a conversation. So her sponsor quit, right? Who pretty much headed up Holland, the Netherlands, right? And, you know, I said to Rochelle, you know what, it's your time. Now is the time for you to become the leader, right? And I've watched her, okay? And it was a case of sink or swim. And I tell you what, she swam. She got to all the events, and she went bronze and above. And I'm like, she's doing a great job. And she had several people in Barcelona with her from her team. And you see, that's what it takes. So, you know, the support is here. There are calls, there are people who will help you. But the bottom line is you can't be a victim, okay? You got to just say, right, you got to make a decision that I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the leader, right? I had all my, you know, in my first company, right? when I was a newbie, all my sponsors quit. I decided that I was going to do it. I became the number 2 from having 5,000 people in that company, existing agent. That was only in the UK. I became the number 2 income earner after Peter in that company because I decided to do it. I learned and I was resilient, and you know what, I did the work, right? So the thing is, you know, I come from that place where I did it. Okay. Hi, Rochelle. There we go. Superstar.
Sure, I remember that. I remember you coming to me and saying, "Oh, that's blah blah." I said, "Well, you better step up then, mate. It's down to you."
Exactly.
Because you know you're now the only one left, so you're the leader. You better look after your people. Oh, okay, it's your job.
And it's always easier to quit. Here's the thing: it's always easier to quit in life. Yeah, people quit everything, right? Okay. So the thing is, as long as you know where you're heading, where you're going, what you really want out of life, what's important for you, and you're willing to fight for it and keep fighting. And the thing is, at the beginning, I said, you've got to give it time. It took me 5 years of consistent, persistent work to get a breakthrough and get my freedom, right? I would have done it for 10 years. Right? If it had taken 10 years, I would have kept going, right? But some people, what they do is they do it for 3 months and get a bit of rejection, get a bit of failure, and they quit, right? It's like picking up a guitar for the first time, you know, like thinking that you're going to be like Mark Knopfler or, you know, whoever, Bruce Springsteen or whatever. And like, you know, after a couple of times, you say, oh, you know what, this that doesn't work. This bloody guitar don't work, right? You know, or you pick up the golf clubs and thinking that you're going to be like, you know, I don't know, Rory McIlroy or someone. And after a week of doing it, you're like, oh, this doesn't work. People quit everything, right? So the thing is, you know, you got to give it a long-term mindset. And it is, I mean, Peter said it earlier, persistency, consistency. I mean, there's a lot of things. Men, you know, you got to work on yourself. You got to build yourself inside. This is one of the key things, you know, that you got to.
You're not going to make $1 million a year, guys, by signing up 3 people and going to one event. Right, it ain't going to happen. Right, you're going to sign up. I want you, as many people as you physically can, and go to absolutely everything. Then you might stand a chance. Right, and here's the thing: the Mastermind Principle. How many of you have read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? If you haven't read that book, read it. I read that when I was 23, and it changed my life. And I read it a few pages at a time because I wasn't good at reading those sort of books in those days. I'm much better now. But I wasn't a reader. But I read 3 or 4 pages every day, and that book changed my life. And there's a chapter in there called the Mastermind Principle, and that's what we are. We're a mastermind group. We lock arms. We lock arms as a group. We look outwards, and we form a circle. And nobody can get in to our circle because it's behind. We have our backs to each other. We don't have to watch our backs because we form a circle with our arms locked. You know what that looks like? So whether there's 10 of us, 20 of us, 30 of us in a circle with our arms locked, right? We're protecting the house behind us, which is our business, our world, from the outside influence and the outside rubbish. We are bulletproof. And what you've got to do is build your own mastermind group. There's you. Now what you've got to do is find one other leader. Then you find another leader. And then you find another leader until you can form a circle. I suggest you need 6 people to start with, plus yourself, that's 7. You can form a circle with 7 people, locking arms. Then you've got 17, then you'll have 27, then you'll have 370, then you'll have 337,000. And you will have a bank balance that will blow your bloody mind. And that's because you formed a circle of unity, of strength, of power, of compassion, of caring for each other. You don't need one person. You don't need one person. You don't need me. You don't need Shush. You need each other, right? Because together, combined, you are bulletproof. I'm telling you, I know this. All right.
Yeah, and you know, the important thing is to remember, like Peter's absolutely right. See, in this business, if you got 3 leaders, strong leaders, committed leaders, active leaders left and right, you will take it to the bank. But you see, what you've got to also understand is you're going to have to go through maybe 300 people left and right who join. Okay, I mean, sometimes, you know, you can get lucky and you need a lot less. But you're going to have to go through quite a few people to find those real leaders, right?
Yeah, sure. You haven't got to sponsor 300. You've got to go through.
Yeah.
Look, everybody that you sponsor, I'll tell you what they are, first and foremost, they are a prospect list. They've done nothing, right? but they know people you don't know. So if I sponsor Kabutey, he knows loads of people I don't know, and he's going to introduce me to them. So when he introduces those people to me, I have a chance to get with somebody I've never met, who's joined the business already through Kabutey, and I can find out if he's a leader. And he keeps on, Kabutey keeps bringing those. I have to encourage you, Kabutey, to keep bringing people, and hopefully you're the leader. But if you're not, you are going to find me one. Yeah. So when Shush says 300 left and right, to find 3 left and right, you don't have to sign up 300 people.
No, it's within the team. Yeah.
You've got to talk to 600 people left and right, okay, total, probably to find 6 leaders. That's just the number of people who actually will become millionaires in this business, if you want that kind of income, is very small, as it is in every business in life. It's no different in networking, but it's possible. That's the thing, it's possible.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, we've already done over an hour in this conversation, but I'm sure at whichever point you are on the team, you definitely have anchor points to help you build. Now, I want to wrap up with 2 questions for the both of you. Number 1 is, yes, all these new updates are exciting for us, especially with the getaway coming in as that final offer. But you know, it's crazy what the human mind is sometimes. So you have a certain category who feel like, yes, this is great, but it's almost like a gimmick. Like, how long will this be?
It's too good to be true. Listen, a lot of people think it's too good to be true, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So what do you say to those people who are here, who are excited, but then who have this mindset about it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, you can show people video testimonials. My son will be producing a video testimonial when he is in Mexico, so that I'll share that with everyone. Okay, you can share the screenshots of the actual savings and the trips, and just say it's very real. Right?
Why don't you just say to him, why don't you join and prove me wrong?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What if it is real? That's
why don't you sign up and prove to me that what I told you it doesn't work? Okay. Yeah. Because you're going to find out it does.
And here's an interesting thing, right? Okay. That I learned the hard way over the years, right? Okay. Sometimes, right, you're going to find people who are so skeptical, right? Okay, but they've got a closed mind, right? And when you got someone who's skeptical with a closed mind, don't waste your time.
Move on.
Let them go. See, if you got someone who's skeptical, but they've got an open mind, yeah, that they're willing to get the facts and the answers before they make an informed decision, that's different, right? Okay, I would say I'm a skeptical person, like with a open mind, right? Okay, and then obviously you got some people who will just they'll just do it because you're doing it, right? Peter talks about something called a trust account, which is like very, very valid. I mean, Peter, just want to quickly talk about the trust account.
Yeah, everybody, guys, has got a trust account, meaning there are people that they have a certain number of people that trust them. Unfortunately, network marketing exposes that account. It's one of the few places that does it. And they find out that nobody will listen to them. Some people don't have any people that trust them. They have lived a life which means they're surrounded by what they think are friends, but these friends will not actually join them or trust what they're saying. They won't outright say to you or to that person, I don't believe you. You know, because they will just say, oh, no, I'm not interested. Other people have got a massive trust account where they are surrounded by people who genuinely trust them and will join them just to be with them, spend time with them, because they're good friends and because they trust them. Unfortunately, this industry exposes that, and you will get some people who will find out they haven't got that many friends. It's rather sad, and also find out that their family don't trust them either, because the biggest critics you're going to get normally are your family. You know, they know you. People that know you the best, I think they do, will tell you why you can't do this, because they've known you all your life. I was at school with you. I know what you're like. You can't do this. What makes you think you're going to make a load of money? For crying out loud, you're a bus driver. What's wrong with you? You know, somebody's going to say that to you, and you're going to go, oh, yeah. Now, listen, here's what you do in your brain. And you can say it if you want, because I said it as I got stronger. I said this to people. 2 things. Number 1, are you going to clothe my children and pay my mortgage? This is years ago, and look after me when I get old? No. Then I'm not really interested in your opinion. Okay. because I've got to clothe my children. I've got to pay my mortgage, and I've got to look after myself when I get old, and that's why I'm doing this. So unless you're going to do that, then please don't criticize it, because I chose to do it. And the second thing I got to say, about 20 years ago, I started saying this: you seem to have mistaken me for someone who gives a shit what you think. Okay, but you can only say what
let me tell you, I had a zero trust account, like, you know, in that first company, right? I'd blown all my contacts, right? So, you know, the thing, this is the reason why, like, if I can do it, and I pretty much like just I built a cold market, right? Okay, you know, because there are I knew that there would be millions of people out there who wanted to change their lives like I did, right? Okay, but I just had to keep asking people, right? I asked thousands of people, right? Okay, yeah, right, and that's where you got to do what it takes. You got to be willing to do what it takes,
yeah.
Awesome. And to that person who is here, who's excited about getaways, but is asking themselves, will getaways still be here 12 months from now?
There are various contracts with various companies, various groups. They're constantly looking for new ones. The company's been extremely surprised by the length of time. Some of them are 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. That is because they want the cruises, for instance. Give you an example of the cruises. The cruise liners are struggling to get back on their feet. They're going to be years before they get back to where they were because of COVID. You get COVID on a ship, you're stuck on the ship. You know how that works, right? So they're struggling badly, and they wanted to know they would fill up their cabins for the next few years. So they come up with the concept of, it costs money to run the ship while it's at sea. If it's got 100 empty cabins, we might as well fill them up with people that are going to spend money on the ship. We might as well fill them up with people that are going to go on excursions. We might as well fill them up who are going to buy things on the ship, than just leave them as empty cabins, because we can't fill them. And it doesn't look like we can for a long, long time get back to the rarefied atmosphere. There's too many cruise ships. So we get the advantage of being able to fill up this massive space, massive. How long that'll last for, I don't know. I think
I think the reality is that the company or the companies that the Seacret are working with, they are major organizations with massive number of properties and cruise. I mean, like, when you look at the number of cruise companies that are on their platform, it's remarkable, right? And the thing is, at any one time, there's always going to be unfilled rooms, unfilled cabins. So it's called distress stock, right? Okay. And you know, so yeah, nothing to worry about there, guys. I mean, the company knows, Seacret as a company know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball. Obviously, we don't know what's around the corner, right? But I mean, for now, I mean, like, it's all good.
Well, Ron will tell you, those of you who met Ron at the event, he would tell you that this is something which he already knew about, okay, when he worked for Nike. They didn't have any use for it, because they used to get around the world, they used to get offered all kinds of stuff to bring Nike to their building, and bring these celebrities with them, like Jordan, like what's his name, the basketball, Michael Jordan. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, and so consequently, he always knew that existed. So he turned the key on that and said, well, actually, I've got a company that can fill those rooms up for you. And they're all, as Shush said, there's always distressed rooms. There's always rooms that never get sold. So what will happen is that company will see us as an income source for them, and they'll want to keep finding stuff for us. And anyway, we can expand on it. There's other ideas, other ways of doing it, you know. And as we get bigger and have more buying power, once we've got 1 million members, you wouldn't believe the deals we can get. If we go out and say to any company, we will fill up your hotel, okay, and we will fill it from top to bottom for 2 solid weeks, and we want the rooms for $50 each, and we can still give them away free because people are paying for their membership, and they can take $50 out of that. There's your room. We've done it. Job done. Yeah. When we've got 1 million people, we can go to the big boys and say, "Give us your hotel, will you?"
Yeah,
fill it up.
And the other thing is what you got to understand is that, like, there are going to be people like, you know, my son's trip, he paid $421. So he paid an upgrade, if you like, right? There's going to be like other plans and room upgrades, etc., which people have to pay for. So, you know, the companies, the vendor, if you like, will generate money from other other ways. So the thing is, they completely understand how it's going to.
And the analysis, by the way, Kabutey, is something which you may not have thought of. The analysis over time has proved that when somebody gets like a free trip, we can't say free, I know. When somebody gets a free trip or a free cruise, they will spend more money on other things when they get there, because they think, oh, this is I can go on those excursions, I can buy more drinks, I can go to the blah blah blah, because I got a free holiday and I've got money in my pocket that I didn't. This is amazing. I'm going to make the most of it, and they will buy everything. And so the numbers show, the statistics show that people that go at those prices or non-existent their spend is up to 100% more than people who are paid. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, guys, there you have it. Raw facts as it is for us to stand on and build up. So I think we should be getting to that point where we're wrapping up on this conversation now. Tomorrow, today, we're entering into Friday. So on Saturday, on the African continent, we're having, our leadership is coming together with a Super Saturday as a launch pad to really get our team out there and to really begin to build momentum in whichever team, in whichever country we're in. So what the point I want us to wrap on with at this point is how, I mean, I know you've mentioned parts of it in your conversation, but as our final question, how does each individual put themselves, what exactly do we do to begin to build momentum in a consistent way, starting off right after this call, leading into Saturday and beyond?
Yeah, I will just, before I let Peter finish off, I call him the sledgehammer, right? Thunder's hammer, Thor's hammer. But I will just say, massive action. That's what you got to take. You got to take massive action. Now is the time. Everything is lined up. You know, the products are lined up. The getaways. Obviously the getaway pack. You know, for Africa. All these things, they're all in place. Now it's down to you to take massive action. Simple as, right? Nothing else.
I'll say one word. I won't sledgehammer it because it's, I've already done enough of that. One word, and that's numbers, right? I said to you just now that you lock arms with one leader, then you got 3, then you got 7, then you got 12, and so on and so forth. I'll leave you with this story because this is how I built my business. Concentrate on getting people to events. Now, this is an event, right? This call is an event. Super Saturday is an event. Every event has a number of people on it. So on this call tonight, we've had up to 120 people. Now, so you've got an event here with 120 people in attendance, as if it was in a room. I went to an event when I was very young in the industry, and my mentor, Peter, the guy I told you about, the only mentor I ever had in the industry, actually, and unfortunately he's passed away now as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely man. And he said to me, I was at an event, he said, how many people have you got here? And I said, I looked around the room and I said, I think 5. He said, right, he said, every time you come into a room or every time you do something like this, he said, you need to count how many people in your team are in that room. He said, because one day, he said, he'll have a whole row of people. Then he'll have 2 rows. Then he'll have 6 rows of people. Eventually, you'll have your own room full. And eventually, you'll have your own auditorium. And one day, your own football stadium. Because I've been to events like the old company, where 72% of that company was in my team, 72%. And I went to an event with my wife, Mary, and we sat at the front. I think we were in Greece. And there were 12,000 people in the room. And I said, stand up, love, and look behind you. She said, why? I said, because everybody in this room's in your group. Then she said, really? I said, do you remember the days when Peter said to me, how many people you got in the room? I said, 5. Now you've got 12,000, right? So it's numbers. How many people have you got? Count the numbers and keep building that number. Make sure it grows, because if it doesn't, you're not growing, right? And the meetings at the events, it's what's called the peak-to-peak principle. You take people from one peak to the next. So Super Saturday is a peak. Then you've got to tell them about the next peak. The last thing you ever say to people, guys, the last thing on any call with anybody you're talking to in your team ever is you always promote something. Never leave a phone call or a communication, a Zoom call, without promoting something. So when I'm talking to Shush, for instance, if I'd sponsored Shush, I say, Shush, oh, don't forget, Super Saturday, you're going to be there, right? Or I say, Shush, oh, don't forget, we're going to be in Montenegro, right? How many people you got going? I'll constantly keep promoting the next peak, because I know that if Shush gets 10 people to Montenegro, he'll get 20 people to the next event, because I'm peak to peaking him. There's a book on this, actually. It's called the peak to peak principle. So what you do is, it's sales principle, is that your numbers always, they've always said that sales is a number. We're in sales, guys, let's be honest. It's a numbers game. So that peak to peak principle, which is the events, how many bums on seats have you got? Yeah. That's what I'll leave you with.
Perfect.
Awesome, guys. Awesome, guys. Look, wherever you are, drop some love on the pages. And on that particular principle, let me begin to live it right here on this call and remind all of us of Saturday. All right. Saturday. This is our All Africa pre-launch Super Saturday happening this Saturday at 8 a.m. GMT. That is 9 a.m. On West African time. That is 10 a.m. South African time. That is 11 a.m. East African time. Every single one of us, guys, look on this particular call. We had up to 120 people. Right now, look on that and count how many people are on your particular team on this call. And on the strength of the advice that Peter has just given us right now, make sure that on Saturday, you have a multiple number of those people on Saturday's call. We are taking our place. This is for us. This is our place to take advantage of it. Shush and Peter, we can't show you enough love. We can't thank you enough. We appreciate you. I mean, we in our minds, we see you driving your Aston Martins and your Jaguars all across town. And we love your energy. We love your sincerity. I think this call is absolutely timely, and people have truly seen and cared your heart and the authenticity that it comes with. I want to honor every single one of our leaders across Africa. I want to honor my brother, Henry Moyo. You have been an anchor in this season, and we appreciate you so very much. We love you. Ziggy, wherever you are with your family, God bless you. Great to have you. Dinah Madise, Dr. David Kinboyson. It's amazing to have all of you. Tammy, and the entire team, guys, it is you. We are the ones locking arms right now. So do me a favor. Can you just put on your video for one last time? Put on your video. Show me two fists that we are locking up right now. We are locking up wherever you are, guys. Fantastic. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Shush. The love from all of Africa. And guys, we need to see you in Africa. But we want to give you a reason. We want to give you a reason and a motivation to come to Africa.
I'll tell you what, Kabutey, right?
Yes.
We'll do this again in 4 weeks' time. Me and Peter will be there. We'll work out a time that fits the schedules, and let's double the numbers for the call, yeah?
Guys, type the number 4. In 4 weeks' time, we want to multiply this and take our teams to the world. There's so much that I could just echo, guys. We're not alone. The team is bigger than any individual. It's time to take massive action. It's time to build up the numbers. As we get off this call, one final time, I want to remind you the getaways that we already have running with us. And I know you love it already. Go out there and tell the world about it. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.